Hello,
Yo,
YouTube. We're back again. This is part two of the nostalgic games that we want back. We are straight OT, straight off the topic, and these are the games we want back. So last time we left off, um, I'm gonna start. So I don't know if you guys have ever messed with this. You guys might have seen the anime. You ever seen or heard of or played Monster Rancher?
yes. Oh my God, yes. The wolf was my favorite character. I forgot the bastard's name,
Are you
but
talking about the anime?
anime.
Tiger.
That was his name.
Have you
Didn't it have
guys
like
His
a
name
yellow
Tiger?
eyeball character?
Suezo?
Okay.
So
He's
you
like
guys
a
have seen
chick.
the anime. Have you ever seen the anime Monster Rancher? Used to come on mad early in the morning.
I've seen.
He might have been in Florida at the time. I don't know what time it was coming on there.
I think. I think I may have actually seen it. Long ass time ago though. Actually, why are you playing? I think I just seen it recently on Prime to watch.
It's a game on PS1, and there's more than one. I think they might have had three of them, but I remember I had Monster Rancher 2 specifically. So here's what the gimmick of the game was. Basically, the gimmick is you can get monsters by putting random ass discs in your PlayStation. You go to the shrine, and they'd be like, "Hey, you need a monster disc in order to spawn one, in order to raise." So you find all the random ass discs in your house, and it could be anything. It didn't have to be just PlayStation games. You could use other PlayStation games. You could use CDs of any nature that would fit inside your PlayStation. They would all spawn different monsters of different elements and stuff like that.
That
So
sounds
it's a
so
very
fun.
interesting game. Not in addition to that, it was different in Pokemon because you wouldn't travel around the world and fight for experience like JRPG style. You would be at your camp and you would raise your monsters one at a time. That would whatever monster is your primary is the one you're raising at the time. You couldn't just have a bunch of them, and you would go to the Coliseum and battle and do all sorts of weird training. And they could freaking die after a certain amount of time. They get older and their stats start to get lower, and you can fucking bury your pet in this game. And I always just thought it was very intense. Combat could be better. Um, Characters and stuff like that. The disc system, it was all very cool. I think that if you guys ever played that shit, I think you will like it. It's very dog fighting ish. It makes you feel like on some Michael Vick shit because it's just like, did I really just fight my monster to
All right, I
death?
seen
Time
that.
out, time out.
Pixie.
Did you say Michael Vick shit?
We're from Atlanta. We're allowed to say it. I got mad respect for Vic, but y'all know what I'm talking about. What's his cousin's name?
I heard.
I'd have said
that-
his name instead if I knew it.
I heard
That's
that
hilarious.
dude, but I could never find it. I couldn't find it anywhere.
You could
I
play it
want-
on emulator.
That is right.
So, it came out a long time ago. You basically know why I love it, and I just want it back simply because we need another game on the market besides Pokemon and Digimon, because Pokemon are making real easy and real pretty games, and Digimon is always the GOAT on their RPGs. But I just need like that Monster Rancher visceral. Monster Rancher is like the I hate to say it because this is so cliche. Monster Rancher was like the Dark Souls of Pokemon. I'm gonna say it.
That does sound really fun. With modern games, that would be awesome. My only fear with that though would be it'd be a heavy DLC game.
That's the industry these days, dude, and you're absolutely right. But I just want back the mechanic. A lot of systems may not even be disc based, so modern day, what would you even spawn the monsters off of? So that's a
maybe
tough
off
sell.
of the little QR codes. You know how we usually can take a picture of something and it has like the little QR code that you can scan with your phone. Maybe that'd be how you do it. It's like you scan it with your phone and then
It'd be the
Apps off your phone or something.
Something. I don't mind. Oh yeah. You know the QR scanner. Maybe just I don't know.
you go around and you scan different things with your QR scanner in the world.
Yeah.
And like those things this time are where you get the monsters
Be
from.
scanning all the boxes in the pantry, right?
I know so. I mean, because Pokemon Go kind of had like a similar kind of concept with the notion that, you go out into the wild and the Pokemon will be any random place that you go. Pokemon Go went crazy. Monster Hunter could be stupid.
Monster Rancher is a popular series in Japan and it maintains a cult following elsewhere. As of 2007, the series sold 4 million copies.
sheesh.
So the odds of it coming back, I would say, are not impossible. I don't know. I don't think there's a great chance of it coming back, but hell, I think people are fuck with it.
PlayStation. I remember a game called Dino Crisis.
I do
Yes.
remember Dino
No.
Crisis.
What?
That was a Hollywood video rental.
Yeah, that game was intense. To be dinosaurs, it was on some Jurassic Park shit. But guys, I tell you, when I say that game used to jump scare the fuck out of me, it used to jump scare the fuck out of me. Like, real for real.
Fucking dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs. Like, there's picture going down a fucking hallway and a T-Rex that's try to snatch your ass up from the damn third story.
And you got like all you got is like an AK-47. So you got like shit.
Grenade launchers, rocket launchers.
Oh fuck! Oh then fuck the dinosaurs.
It's like you can upgrade. Like you can put like you can like add stuff to them. Like
I call myself.
Like you can make the gun stronger and shit. So the game was like pretty goddamn good, but it was.
Hey look,
it had a lot of puzzles. It was something you had to like go to like Walmart or the grocery store and get like the damn study guide.
The study guide, yes.
I remember those days of gaming.
You can do the shit. It's getting there to do the shit because the shit is just fucking hard.
It was like on some Resident Evil shit for sure. It reminded me of Resident Evil when I played it.
Definitely.
Was it also made by Capcom?
Yes.
I remember
1999, dude.
Yes, sir. Oh my goodness.
Ooh. 6.
Capcom. Cap God at the time because they put out good games.
Yeah, true fact.
When Capcom's putting out bad games, they're Crapcom, and when they're putting out good games, they're Cap God.
Honestly, though, think about it. Like, dinosaurs wouldn't fucking stand a chance nowadays. We got like high-powered weaponry.
Would they?
I feel like they would be good allies.
Them
Imagine like putting a gun on a dinosaur and riding that motherfucker into battle.
That'd be fucking badass.
Like every villain's wet dream.
I feel like we would use dinosaurs. There would at least be some type of tame dinosaur.
Wrap this with laser beam eyes, like Superman eyes.
But let's keep it real. If dinosaurs still survived to nowadays, I feel like they'd be highly intelligent.
We'd have killed the big ones, likely.
Yeah, T-Rex would be extinct. We'd have found out that T-Rex was really delicious, and we'd have been fucking serving his ass.
Oh, like Pickle from Baki. Pickle from Baki went ham for that T-Rex meat, dog.
Sure. Now, I mean, but if we're being
I made
real,
some T-Rex sandwiches.
Humans really wouldn't have developed as much as they had if dinosaurs still existed.
Nah, we'd have fucked them up.
At some point in time, yeah, technology owes OP. Have you ever seen Tear Zoo?
Like, let me hunt down some shit. You stranded on a fucking island. Like, it's a whole fucking facility where they was like working on. They brought dinosaurs back or whatever, and they put some cybernetics and whatever into them and make them fucking awesome. And they just got loose and start wrecking shit. So it's a whole entire island of fucking dinosaurs.
What do you think about a repetitive action game that's kind of like Friday the 13th or what's the thing with all the killers? What if you did that with dinosaurs and you could just like you're a certain type of dinosaur or a pack, multiple people play a pack, or one person plays a really big dinosaur and you have to do that type of thing.
That can
It'd be cool.
That could be badass.
Actual game, the survival game itself.
You could do different games. Like I like the idea of a survival game too. Sorry, Carl.
I'd want to see something like that though in a VR.
Everything VR is hype if it's got enough budget.
That could be crazy.
Because VR games can be it's still in its infancy.
Nah, but it was a good fucking game, fellas. Like, if you like that RPG survival type shit,
yeah,
that's the game.
Right on my alley.
I got my ass kicked. I never finished that shit. I got it from a Hollywood Video.
Oh.
I had it for like a week. I got bodied.
At the time, I was playing that and Silent Hill. I
got bodied by that game too. Silent Hill 2 is the one I had.
I was like at that time I was a real horror game like fan. Like with Resident Evil, that's all I played. Resident Evil and Silent Hill. Silent Hill had like 2 different endings. Good fucking game.
I guess those games are hard. Who's next?
I'll go ahead. Classic. We always talk about it. Midnight Club.
Ooh, that would be beautiful.
Right, and I feel like that's one of those games that unnecessarily ended. Because, hell, just us 4 talking about the game is fucking amazing. Everybody loves it. But if I'm not mistaken, they did make 2 of them.
3.
They made 3?
Yeah.
I don't remember the third one.
Midnight 3 Dub Edition.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because,
yes.
That was a whole different game.
Yes.
Yep. Dub Edition had like an Atlanta stage where you could drive through Atlanta. It was like the first game that had that.
Yes, I remember that. I feel like that game alone. So they have the Crew now,
yeah.
And I was like, I feel like Midnight Club is what the Crew could have been. It could have easily been one of the biggest online games, even something on some cross-platform type shit. That right there alone would have been a dope ass game, if not as big as GTA Online is, easily, if it was still going now.
Fucking with GTA Online.
But if you got the opportunity to race and then you started dropping maps like all over the world, you had different missions and shit you had to do,
That's
different
flames.
races.
That's flames.
And if you even take it to the aspect of something like Gran Turismo where you can tune your cars a little bit more, that game would go hard.
Yeah. I love racing
because there aren't really many very many street racing games out there.
I think that if they put out like a Grand Theft Auto kind of like Midnight Club, I think that should have body Grand Theft Auto's racing, because Grand Theft Auto Online's got good racing, but that's not what that game is a generalist. Midnight Club could be the specialist in that shit. So imagine the game just dedicated to fast cars that you could customize, being in crews and having team battles, races for money over pink slips and all sorts of crazy. Oh my goodness, a Midnight Club modern day.
It almost
online
be
with your homies and like a
right,
group.
like you can like name your racing crew. You know what I'm saying? Like we the fucking Excaliburs, and we like fucking got like our own like emblem and our own color scheme, and we go online and we just in races with various people, and we can do this individually or as a group.
Like imagine,
that'd be
and
crazy.
It doesn't even have to be like circuit type racing. Like we've all seen Fast and Furious when they was out racing in the desert. Just something like that alone, like the drag racing and stuff they were doing, something like that alone would be crazy as hell.
That'd be
Like
fire.
picture like a
That'd be fire.
like a 4-on-4 race, like a drug run or some shit. Yeah. You got like drive through tunnels and shit, like the first four.
Right, yo, that would go
like,
hard.
Like wins first and shit. Like everybody starts off at the same time, but everybody have to go like two each. Have to go in different directions and shit.
That's badass.
This Midnight Club came out in 2000. It sold 2.5 million.
I wouldn't got the day it came out.
2.5 million.
That's
at
just
$50 a pop.
That's just the original.
That's just the original.
And let's not forget that this is 24 years ago.
Right.
So that amount of money was vastly more than what it is today.
Right. Like,
oh no, that's the whole series. That's the whole series.
Oh, the whole.
But that's still crazy though.
Yeah, it is. Especially for a game just about.
No, I think that's
and it's not like.
It's a.
I mean, we talk about it all the time, so.
Because it was a PlayStation greatest hits, and I think you got to sell 1 million copies to be a greatest hits. So like,
Carl, that was such a good choice.
Good.
I want back a Midnight Club.
That's nostalgia right there, dude. Oh my god.
I would even take just like a remastered, slightly better graphics,
no,
a little bit better handling.
Fuck remasters. I hate remasters. I don't want to play the same game over again with better graphics. Fuck.
I mean, I would love to get another version, but if they did release a remastered for it too, that would be dope. Just be able to play, but also give it an online factor.
That could be nasty.
Yeah, that could be kind of fun. It's the online factor itself.
The same races, as
especially that whole thing about like making crews. That whole thing Tony was saying about making crews and being able to take your crew online, like how we do with like Don't Starve. Except like that could be stupid.
You know how like you do like in the Olympics, you like hand the baton off. It'd be sick if there was like a race
relays,
like rally, exactly like a relay. Where in this like team versus team, it'd be like 4 versus 4, and you have to run the same track. But you know, it's like that relay. You can't go until your homie come up. And you battle for money, you play for money, and it's also got to be an RPG too. So you like build your car up. You can lose your car, but you can't. If you're down to your last car, you can't play for pinks no more. Yeah, you have to at least have something to race in. But like if you got like multiple cars and stuff like that, you should be able to race for money, race for pinks. And I feel like you should be able to you should be able to build into stacking your car until you can max it out. You know what I'm saying? Then there should be like different leagues. So like if you're just starting out, you got this league and etc. Until you get to the top league where everybody's just got only maxed out cars
or really high end cars, fully maxed out.
I actually want to. Sorry.
Oh no, you go ahead.
I actually want to really on a rank system. On Midnight Club, I wanted to be like if you were fast as a motherfucker and you've been burning everybody, you're racing against people of your skill level. I want matchmaking to be very good. I want it to be like if you've never played this game before, there's people you can race against who are on your level. That's a big thing about racing games because I've played a handful of racing games, and oftentimes matchmaking is not great. You just tend to get bodied.
Yeah.
Even in Mario Kart, have you ever played Mario Kart online?
Yeah.
Cutthroat.
Right.
I've been bodied by people called Jamie's mom and stuff like that, straight up, because they play a shit hardcore. So it's just like you feel like you need to
Jamie's
step your
mom?
game up. And while I was playing Mario Kart online, I was like, I need to step my fucking game up.
I mean, let's keep it real.
That
How
was
many
really
racing
salty.
games are actually out there that y'all can really name?
Up to date.
Just
other
Need for
than-
Speed and Yeah,
Need
just
for
Need for Speed
Speed,
and Mario
Gran
Kart.
Turismo,
Crew.
Forza.
Oh yeah, Gran Turismo for it and Forza, but those tend to be like they use those games to show what the new consoles can do.
Right,
Yeah,
and
but
then
those
you'll
are
only
those
get
are
one.
like serious generational games. Like the only other one I can think of that might be more of a street aspect thing is the Crew.
Yeah,
Because they just released the Crew 2, I think, like last year or something like that.
yeah.
So and that might be the closest thing we would get to Midnight
It's-
Club, but
There's a
at the
lot of
same
racing
time,
games out there. If
I
you're a
think
racing
nowadays-
gamer, I think.
yeah,
I think it'd be even cooler if nowadays you could put in like you get motorcycles too, and like you know what I'm saying, like different little, you know, like motorcycles, maybe those little buggies, little ATVs,
Mhm.
you know, off road buggies, depending on the stage you're on. Like let's say you're racing in you know some exotic country like Thailand or something like that. Like they give you one of those little fucking you know buggies or something like that. Some you know just
So my question for y'all is: do you think with the racing games that they do have out now, that Midnight Club would actually survive?
Yes.
yes.
Yeah, I think Midnight Club would prosper.
Yeah,
Yes.
just because of its
I think that would be so hype.
like people our age.
But you
actually
do,
buy it.
but understand this is Rockstar.
Rockstar.
Rockstar made Midnight Club, so they'd have to like the fact that they've got Grand Theft Auto. I think the chances of Midnight Club coming back is like not great because they can do all that same shit in Grand Theft Auto. They don't have to make it. But but being Rockstar, being who they are, if they did make it, it'd probably be like the greatest racing game of all time at this point. Look at their budget.
Yeah,
that shit is
They could
I mean-
get one of their studios to make it, and it'll still
That
be
shit
fire.
is
and let's keep it real. They take damn near 10 years to develop a game. It seems like.
Well,
You
Grand
know,
Theft Auto.
I think that shows you how crazy they run in the 2000s was. They released Red Dead 1 at the end of the decade. You had Grand Theft Auto 3, you had San Andreas, you had Miami Vice. Those all happened in the 2000s. They put out Midnight Club, and then they put out Bully, and they put out games like what was it, Manhunt?
Yeah,
Where it's like the serial killer, where it's like the guy that's like
that was real
killing people
controversial too for its time. There was a second one on the. It was like a Nintendo system. You
look.
remember that?
That is
Yeah.
The only
That's on
problem
the
with
Wii or some
nowadays
shit.
is
Wii.
our graphics run so hard that it takes them so much more to make a game
It's true.
to stay competitive and up to date with most of the games we play.
Midnight Club would be beautiful on the
It'd-
PS5.
It'd be freaking gorgeous.
Yeah, it
It would
would.
be beautiful. Just the city, the car, the reflection of the car, the gloss, the
Yeah.
painting.
Yeah,
I mean, we got all sorts of. You know those new cars. You guys have seen the cars on the highway recently that look like they out of something sci-fi. They're like
Right.
you can't tell quite what color it is. It's like white and very bright, and it's every
Yeah.
color.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
If they
Opal.
put that shit in the game, that should have blown my mind. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. I'll be wondering how much people pay for that paint job. Atlanta's crazy. Y'all should come to Atlanta. This is why we're off the topic. Who's next?
crazy.
Okay. My next one is Oni Musha.
Let's go.
Fuck, I just
I
seen
found
this
that
in
game
there.
highly difficult.
Oni Musha.
Oh,
For me,
yes.
it's like Ghost of Tsushima, but with magic. You know, fucking samurai. You get different swords, especially when you get to the last one they did, where it's like set after the original trilogy. It was like the blonde haired dude. Throughout the game, as you beat enemies, it's Oni Musha 4. That shit's great. Throughout the game, you like beat enemies and get ever increasingly cool swords, and like they do different. Every sword does something different, and they got different stats. Fucking bring back Oni Musha. Bring back Oni Musha. Capcom. Look. Let me talk to you guys.
I think
Capcom.
that'd be very good modern day.
Please.
You know what my favorite thing
You
about
brought
Oni
back
Musha
Devil May
was
Cry?
the counter system. Couldn't you just like one shot a motherfucker if you had?
If you counter, yes,
yeah, it had to
yes,
be perfect, but you could
yes.
slash through somebody.
Damn near kill a boss. You could take massive chunks of energy from off a boss like that.
Yeah,
Like what? Oh,
Did you know that Oni Musha came out with a Super Smash Brothers type game?
What? No, I didn't.
I forgot what it's called, but there's like Oni Musha where it's just like you pick 4 different people can play, and there's a guest character. They have Mega Man EXE in that game.
What?
Yeah, what's it called? You never heard of that shit?
What?
It's called Oni Musha Blade Warriors.
Oni
And
Musha Blade Warriors.
It is basically kind of like a Smash Brothers like game where you pick an Oni Musha character and you run around on a platform type thing, and you like try to kill each other. And I don't think you like knock each other off the stage, but you take a certain amount of damage. But it was I don't think my memories of this game are real hazy.
Better story. I want a much better story, a more really just start me a new trilogy. I mean, honestly, because now that I think about it, Oni Musha's story was great. It had time travel, it had all kinds of shit, magic and time
Number
travel.
3, they like invaded Earth, modern day,
right?
And it was just sort of like holy.
And
shit,
then they had like some
everywhere.
French guy who was like an actor that like was
He was
did
surprisingly
mocap
fun
for the
to
game.
play with.
Yeah,
He
he had
was
like a
surprisingly
whip.
beast. Mm-hmm.
He
He was surprisingly fun because at first I was just sort of like not another character. 'Cause I only want to play as the samurai,
right.
and then
Samanosuke.
Is it Samanosuke? That's
Yep.
crazy. Great. I only played number 2 and number 3. I didn't even play the original. I played number 2. It was one of the best games I ever played. Collecting souls from enemies and using them to build up my weapons was beautiful.
Fuck yeah.
Number 3 was sick. It was more of the same, plus more characters and better stages.
Yep.
I did not play the last one.
The 4th one, you got like you constantly change. You got 2 swords on you. One of them you constantly change throughout the game. The other one is a sword that's too strong for you to be using in the first place from the beginning of the game. So like it's always on his back. And as the game goes on, you unlock more moves that allow you to use that sword more often. If memory serves me correct, like Oni Musha 4 was crazy. If they were to bring it back now, I would want like a Ghost of Tsushima mode, like how it has that multiplayer mode.
Legends.
Yes, like a Ghost of Tsushima Legends mode. Like I would love an online thing where everybody just brings the Samanosuke that they got, that they done kitted out. You know what I'm saying? And they bring them into the online thing, and we just kind of do some kind of mixture of this Blade Warriors game and like but online.
No, dude, I feel like that would make a great Souls game.
Yeah.
So,
That too. Yes, it
You
would make
always
a
want
great
some
Souls game.
what's wrong with Souls games, man? Come on, guys. Like,
It would make a pretty fast Souls game though. Like
if I want to play something, I want that shit to be challenging.
Oni Musha was challenging.
as fuck.
The fact that I could beat it as a kid does not speak volumes for its challengingness, though. I'm not going to lie. If I can beat the game, I don't think that it's that challenging. Because all the most challenging games I have no chance against. So, my next game is Eternal Champion.
Mother.
I never played Eternal Champions.
Oh, what about you, Chris?
Fuck yes, I did. The first one and the second one.
You played the second one? That's a privilege.
The second one was on Sega Saturn.
That's not fair. So Eternal Champions is a fighting game for the Sega Genesis. It came out in 1993. I played it definitely played it much later because I was in like elementary school. So I might have played it in like 96 or 97. So it is a fighting game where there's this guy called the Eternal Champion. For reasons I cannot remember, he traveled through time and gathered a bunch of warriors from different timelines to come and kick each other's asses in the chance that you will possibly get a chance to fight the Eternal Champion in the end. There was a guy who was a thief from like the 20s or something like that. There was a caveman. There's a picture. There was a guy from the future. There's that guy. There was like a gypsy or something. She was like a circus performer or something.
And they all
there was
died
a vampire. There was
They all died tragically, if memory serves me correct.
yeah, in different ways.
Yeah,
If I recall, yeah.
because the
Pretty
20s
sure.
gangster dude, I remember he had gotten like shot or something like that. I think he had got like shot.
There's Eternal Champions lore. Not that I know what that is. But so what's also really cool about this game is it actually had fatalities. So there weren't real fatalities, but there were circumstantial fatalities. It doesn't say finish him and you don't press block up to burn them. You basically have to kill them on a certain position in the screen, and then the stage will kill them in its own way. So if you kill them in the swamps will take them underneath the thing and turn them into a bloody pile. If you get killed on the gangster stage, like you'll get a drive-by shooting will happen to you after you're done losing the fight. There's a desert stage where you get knocked into a giant fan blade.
That's insane.
It's quite hilarious. And what's even crazier is that there's another Eternal Champions that I never played. It was a sequel, and it had more characters and more fatalities.
Yep.
And it came out on the Sega Saturn, I believe. It was either
Mhm.
that or it was
Sega
the CD.
Sega CD.
The CD. I think Eternal Champions, if it came out modern day, and I don't care who makes it, except for I know you love Mortal Kombat. I don't want NRS to make it, but make anyone besides them make it. I'm talking like Capcom, Arxis, French Bread, the people that made Skullgirl. Somebody give me an Eternal Champions 3 and
That'd be
give
hard.
me a dope ass fighting system where that game kind of had its own combos. I kind of want it to be. I don't want it to be a team fighter. I still want it to be 1-on-1. I just want it to have more characters from more timelines. Maybe give me like a guy from who was fighting in Japan during World War II, who like he was on one of those islands or whatever like that. He doesn't know the war's over. Give me like a guy like that. Give me like a person from the future who like fights with like drones and shit like that. Give me a person from the Napoleonic era or something like that, who's like Jack the Ripper.
Oh
Give me
my
like
God.
Jack the Ripper or some shit like
That-
that. I don't know. Give me
This game sounds wild.
that
as
was
hell
later
already.
than the Napoleonic era.
I remember in part 2 there was like a voodoo witch or something like that. She was kind of badass. She like put your ass in a pot and like stew your ass or something like that. That was her fatality. That was a stage fatality or something.
Yo, that is
There was a lot of
insane.
good characters.
Like,
The
she was
Eternal
like a
Champion.
voodoo witch or something.
The Eternal Champion himself was the final boss. He had 3 different forms. There was like one was like air, one was water, and the final one was just like him beating your ass. You had to fight his ass 3 times effectively.
He just personified whooping your ass.
But
That's insane.
all right, my chances of getting another Eternal Champions, 0.
Damn.
0% likely. I don't know who made it, but nobody's talked about Eternal Champions.
I never
We
heard of it.
might be the only people who even know about it, but it exists. Look, I'm gonna show pictures, of course. So show some Eternal Champions right now. Editing Tony. Show some right now. Replace my face with one of the characters. All right, cool. Moving on. Who's next?
Mine too. Me too.
All right. Okay.
It's gonna be funny.
Sega Dreamcast, fellas. I don't know if you ever had one. It's a
I
game
didn't.
called Jet Grand Radio.
I didn't.
Oh. Yeah.
What was it
I
called?
played Jet
Jet
Set
Grand Radio.
Radio.
Jet Set Radio.
Jet Set Radio.
Jet Set Radio.
Jet Grind Radio. I think that's the first one,
That's
right?
what you be doing most of the time was fucking.
I think it's Jet Set Radio.
I think
if
it's
I'm
Jet Set
right.
Radio. I think it is Jet Set Radio. Sega
I
Grand
think I've heard Jet Grind Radio before. Also, that might have been
Yeah,
the
that
ghetto
is
name
it.
for it.
It's Jet Grand Radio.
It is Jet Grind Radio.
Yeah. That was my joint, fellas. You rollerblade. It was a game.
This looks
Awesome
like
soundtrack.
Graffiti game.
Isn't-
The
Didn't
game
they make
told you
something-
not to do this because it's illegal. The game in the beginning is just sort of like, hey, bro, don't
You
go graffiti
remember.
stuff. It's illegal.
Oh shit.
Tony-
You remember that?
That's kind of like Mark Echo. You remember when Echo made their own video game and you had to do graffiti? It's kind of like Mark Echo's Get Up. That's what it sounds like to me, at least.
fucking awesome. I was like, the only thing about the game
This
was
looks like it'd be a dope ass game.
the
Though.
fighting system. Like you had to tag your opponent. That was the only thing about
You have
it.
to run
You
from the
say
police
tag
too.
like
You had to run for the police. The others come up randomly and start chasing you. Shit.
And what was great about that game, I really loved, is you could make your own designs. They had
Yes.
like a Microsoft Paint mode where you can make your own graffiti design. And when you go around and tag stuff, they had a small, medium, and large graffiti, and you'd have to do basically control like
Make the size of the letters, symbols.
what do you call them shits, like live action events, or it's just sort of like you
Hmm.
have to do like this motion
Yeah.
or
Oh, quick
and that
time
motion.
events.
This
Yeah.
But like for small ones, you wouldn't have to do that many of them. For a big one, you might have to sit there for a second. You have to go like, shh, 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 dun, 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 dun. I'm thinking Tony Hawk noises, but it had sound effects.
Soundtrack.
That sounds
Oh my
dope.
God.
The dances too were really cool.
Dances.
The rival gangs had cool dances and stuff that show you a new gang. They have a new routine. They'd all come out dancing on your ass.
That game was fucking awesome.
that game sounds crazy.
It does.
You didn't have
It's
to
a
play-
Dreamcast
You
game.
don't have to play the game. You can sit there and watch somebody else play that game and enjoy that shit. That's how good that game was.
Oh shit.
We would
that's
take
hard.
turns though. It's a fun game to take turns with.
Hell yeah.
So
But give me an open world. Give me an open world standing game.
yeah,
You can just tag random people's shit. over people's shit. Like he just keep on tagging over shit.
Fuck it. But if you tag over the wrong gang shit, they come and they fuck you up because they like know your tag.
Yeah,
That'd be dope.
You think it needs a combat system? Because I don't think there's like much in terms of combat besides spraying people in the face with spray paint.
Yeah, give me a combat system. Give me like use like baseball bats, wiffle bats, and shit like that. You know, hey, that shit fucking fun.
That's hard.
But the main thing is like the more tags you do,
The more notoriety you get.
Yeah.
That'd be hard. That'd be
fucking fun.
It'd be dope if we actually had a way to get famous off of this, though. Like, so you want to hunt you down because you became recognized throughout the world as like this dope ass stagger. You're a street artist, and like the better light of that word instead of the negative. As like people like, hey, they recruit you to try and come tag this shit.
Have like world missions, like different crews, and like team up, like everybody team up shit, and tell like a big part of the map or something. It's like a whole like a government agency and shit chasing after you and shit. Like, groups and like
that idea,
like tag shit. Like you like a rebel, like a bunch of fucking like a rebel group or some shit. Like
that could be dope.
But tagging shit. Hey, that shit fun with a remake. But yeah, I would love to play Jet Set Radio. I would play the original right now. Give me a remaster of that shit. I do a remaster of that shit, Carl.
I want a new game. I want a remaster too, but I want a new game.
Yeah, but
it would be.
How likely do you think you already get one?
What?
How likely do you think you already get one?
Well, man, that was made by Sega itself. Like,
Sega's still around, dude.
They make games. Unfortunately, they robbed one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it came out in year 2000. Yeah. You know what the moral of this whole podcast and the first one was? Year 2000 was a good ass game for gaming, dude.
It was.
So many of our games came out year 2000.
But you know what the biggest difference is, though? So a game like that nowadays is as unlikely to come back as Bully is, for the aspect that game would promote tagging, as some people would put that.
People still tag to this day, Carl.
That's true.
Why not?
But just like how we won't get Bully 2 because of the bully aspect of the game and the title, I think society be more likely to block that.
Dude, I've murdered an entire town in Skyrim.
Fair. I think it would be really
GTA.
Cool.
I've murdered so. You could just drive down the sidewalk on GTA.
That's very true. I do it all the time.
Look,
I'm having a bad day. I go to GTA to go have me a nice little murder spree. Give me up to 5 stars about 5 times, and I'm good.
Hey, it's not GTA for me. It's Far Cry 5. I like drive into like there's like redneck they're like redneck revolutionaries who are like Christian nationalists. So I just be running through like bow 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 Trump 2024 motherfucker. Like that's what you guys want, bow, and I like kill them. It's amazing. It makes me so happy.
Nah, GTA is
Far Cry 5. I'm like, that's what y'all want? Bow, and I just shoot the fuck out of them. Like, yeah, that's what you get for one. Oh.
I'm about to play that shit and do the same thing as you do.
I do 2 things. I set up on the roof as a sniper, or I walk down the block with a shotgun.
So Omar coming.
Look, shotguns are my favorite weapon in any video game because they're just so straight to the point.
Thank you, bro. Oh my.
Tom, you heard me? Apparently, Jet Set is about to come back. Like, there's a reboot. It appears to be open world. You said you wanted an open world one?
Yep.
It appears to be open world based on newly revealed info. This was on the 20th of 2023 when they published this article. So the 20th of December. So this is up to date information. Like, apparently Jet Set's coming back. That's fire. I might have to get on this motherfucker when it comes back. According to slides from a Sega Sammy management meeting earlier this month, the upcoming Jet Set Radio reboot is being branded as an open world game that keeps the series focused on rebellion, counterculture, Tokyo Street open world. The game's description reads: experience the rebellion movement that feels free in a suffocating society. Make friends, increase your fans, and create a movement.
Margo? 007 Goldeneye.
Oh my god.
That's a really that damn Carl came out here hitting hard, bro.
Hitting hard as hell, bro.
I mean, shit, we in the top 5 of this list.
Yeah, we are.
Like, for real, what was the last time we had a 007 game, though?
Shit. I know we got one on GameCube. I played that, but it was only okay. It wasn't. Now, okay, so let's be really real. N64 GoldenEye, that shit's riding off nostalgia alone. If we played that shit modern day, it's still fun, but you can't aim. It's a really old game. The control sucks because it's on an N64. So, let's talk about some of the good things about the old game. What was it that was so good about 007 N64 that made it a cult classic that it
The
is?
driving stages. You in the car and shit. And
On the N64?
I don't remember driving on that 64.
Me neither.
The car stages? Like, you don't know the car stages, dude?
I'm gonna remind
Yeah.
you.
I don't remember that.
It's a stage called the Stack, and it's pretty much just like an open space, and it's got like an upper level, and either folks would spawn camp on the upper level with their sniper rifles and shoot you when you ran out into the open. So you got to be smart and find little tricks around the stage without going out into the open, or you got people just roaming around with those machine guns, the RCP 90s, just shooting at you, just shooting your ass as soon as you turn a corner. I fucking loved GoldenEye. Oh my god, no!
The only stage you ever played was that damn
The
office
lasers.
where you could like climb into the ceiling in the bathroom and shit.
Right.
Damn.
I fucked with that stage too.
I'm about to say, first off, I may actually still own this game because I know theoretically where my N64 controls are. I may
Whoa.
still own this game. I'm not 100% sure on that one. Two, I feel like I'm younger than all y'all. 93, so this game came out when I was really young, so it's something I one of like first games and shit. I feel like this is one of the first games where you actually had to be creative on how you got through your stages because it was multiple routes for everything. Most games, even games you see nowadays, it's like you have one, maybe two options, three kind of pushing it to get through a stage. That, like I said, I can go crawling through freaking air ducts to get to different parts of the goddamn base, come out through the bathroom, pop back up, come back through a freaking side vent in a hallway, and it's
Plant
like
proximity mines.
right,
Come back
Oh
later
my
on.
God.
right, and it's like you had so many options to do everything in this game, which is wow.
I'll tell
Hey.
you another. Sorry, you want me to go or you go?
Go ahead.
007 N64 had some of the best cheats of all time.
Yes, it
Big head mode, the spray paint, where you fire and it was all like spray painting. It's so there was so much stuff you could do to just mix it up.
Yeah.
That it was just there's so many different game modes. I'm talking about Man with the Golden Gun,
Oh
Capture the
my
Flag, and all sorts of
God.
crazy shit.
We used to always play either Man with the Golden Gun or License to Kill, and then do like
Let's just,
all weapons or like RCP 90s only, and then just like run across the stage, just machine gunning each other. You don't get found. You get
No,
found.
and it's
You taking this machine gun.
and
Like,
it's this is honestly one of the first multiplayers I played outside of going to like some of the more classic games that I do remember piling up with my cousins in the room. We all have the controller. Everybody's sitting on them big blocky ass TVs trying to cram in. Everybody's doing different things, trying to play this game all at the same time. And it's just like the nostalgia is definitely there. And you get multiplayers nowadays, but most games you're playing nowadays, there are very few games that are couch co-op.
Yeah.
So
there's a
things,
handful.
but that's it. There's
That's
a
it.
handful. From what we grew up with, hey, I'm going to the neighbor's house real quick. We're going to play the game for a little bit. Hey, I got to bring my memory card over to the house and bring all my other
I
little
love
tips
that
and
memory
tricks.
card, bro.
Yo, lose your memory card, you had a problem. Let's keep it real. Who didn't have like 3 or 4 of them things?
All my
Man.
PlayStations, bro, I always had two.
Exactly.
I usually had like 2, 3. Yeah.
I'm
Certain
gonna tell
games
you.
would take up your whole memory card. If you played a sports game, bro, you could
I
that
had
one memory card
just-
for
I
the
had
whole
one just
game.
for Madden.
How likely do y'all think it is to one get a decent 007 game? Because there's been since the GameCube one came out, there's been at least 5 movies.
Yeah.
We get a movie like every 4 years or so for
Yeah.
007.
You talking about the Daniel Craig films?
I'm like, either way, and even if it wasn't a couch co-op game, even if it was an online game, again, I hate GTA is the biggest online game out there, pretty much. Something like that where you can form your crews, your squads, even if it's just a 4-man, to go on do different missions like we do with Ghost of Tsushima on some 007 type thing. That'd be dope as hell. 007 franchise is massive.
All right, Carl, here's what I'm thinking. All right. Now hear me out. Watch Dogs mixed with Spy Hunter.
Yeah,
That's kinda
hard.
But what's 007? Gadgets, gunplay, and sexuality.
Yeah.
Plus a kick-ass car with all sorts of booby traps.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be one of the sickest games of all time? It doesn't have to be.
Absolutely.
If Spy
said
Hunter's
that
on
too.
anybody's list, I give you extra credit points. It's not on my list, but I probably should have been.
From what I just pulled up an article from Games Radar. It says that there is apparently the folks who make Hitman
Mm-hmm.
are apparently making a 007 game. It's called Project
Nice.
007, and I think it releases this year.
Nice.
Oh,
I mean, we got a possible. We might get some in the next couple years. Definitely excited about that. Outside of that, just another game of that quality would be awesome. Cause I'm not crazy into shooters either. RPGs are more my thing, but that would be a dope ass game to get, and I would feel like I would thoroughly enjoy it. But still give me the aspect of being able to sneak around and give me multiple routes and options to get a mission done. I'd be asking for a lot, but I think that'd be a dope ass thing for the actual game.
It's a PS2 game called Chaos Legion. It's basically Devil May Cry, but with summons.
is that the one where you had the dragon or something?
Yeah, you could like beat certain enemies if I remember something correct, and then you could like turn them into your summons for later on, and then use them against other enemies. And every different summon had like different things that it did well. Like one might provide you with a shield, one might boost your attacking power. Like, but it was basically, but the fighting system was Devil May Cry though, but with summons. It's like Devil May Cry meets Yuno from Final Fantasy.
Either of you guys know what?
Nah, hell no. But the cover of this game looked crazy as hell.
Sounds very. I think I had a homie rent it before, and I think I watched him play it, but I don't think I played it myself. It sounds so familiar.
I had the it was on one of those PlayStation fucking demo PS2 demo disc things. It used to come out. Oh man, look.
You know,
What?
I'm gonna find the demo disc. I always find the demo disc.
Look, them shits put me on so many games, but nah, that game was hard as fuck though. Like you could use your summons to like fight. You get assaulted by hordes of enemies, and
What
like,
kind of summons did they have? Was it kind of like on some Final Fantasy mythology shit, or was it just like stuff?
it was like really mostly it's really enemies. If I remember something correct, it's the enemies from the game. I think it's the enemies that you had already previously fought. Except you could summon them, and they would look different, or they have certain special characteristics about them once you summon them. But like and as over time, you could you get enough souls and stuff like that, and you can use it to beef up your summons and beef up your attacks. It changed the way your sword looks. It changed the way your summons behave. Oh man, great game, great game. You could bring that back now and give people like 30 different summons and like. You know what I'm saying? Multiple swords, multiplayer.
DLC summons or unlocked through the story summons?
Unlocked through the story summons.
No,
Okay.
ain't nobody gonna ask for no goddamn DLC.
I mean-
Carl, we don't want to spend money. Of course they're
Unless
gonna
it's
do
free
it.
DLC like Ghost of Tsushima, in which case, bring it on. I love free DLC. But if it's not free DLC,
Capcom.
whoa.
Get out, Cap God.
Capcom is going
Cap God.
crazy. These guys, I'm trying
They
to tell you.
need to open up the vault. I'm so
03.
pissed at Cap. 03.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I was older than I thought I was, and maybe I didn't watch a friend play it.
Fucking,
I was about to graduate. There's no way.
nah, that game was crazy good,
In a
man.
few years.
That game was crazy.
Hell, just the cover of this game is wild.
Yeah.
I remember the cover.
Yeah.
I didn't play it.
And the guy you were fighting was something Delacroix. His name was like something Delacroix. Delacroix. Which is just an awesome villain name. Whenever I write another story, I'm gonna have my villain, and their name gonna be something Delacroix, Marquis Delacroix. He gonna have he gonna have like a Cajun accent, but he royalty
Give him a
though.
top.
He is and like a monocle.
Oh,
I'm Marquis Delacroix.
Monocles are badass. Though. I ain't gonna lie.
They are kinda
If you make a Cajun, you gotta be Cajun and posh at the same time. That weird little combination with that name.
right. He always got like one of the little coats with the tail.
And with the and the pocket watch with the chain.
Right. right? He looked almost like a slave owner, like almost. Okay, baby. Let's not get us canceled this early. Let's not get us canceled this early.
Being canceled is enough infamy to at least get us on the radar. So infamy is better than fame sometimes. We'll be alright.
I'm gonna dress up as a folk will be like, man, what the hell you got on? I'm be like, I am Marquis Delacroix.
With the cane.
I am Marquis Delacroix. How you doing?
Korean cosplays. That's good.
I don't think we will ever get another version of that game. If there was going to be one, they probably would have did a sequel a long time ago. But I don't think it sold well enough for them. So I think it's a 0% chance. But come on, Capcom. Look, Capcom. I bought Devil May Cry 5. I was gonna buy Resident Evil, but personally, I don't play horror games. But I be spending money on y'all games. I bought Street Fighter. Come on, guys.
But you trying to bargain
He's
though?
on my club.
It's kind of. Look, guys, please. At least Oni Musha.
I'm gonna put it at 1% chance just to keep hope alive.
At least Oni Musha. There's 2 games I done put on my list. Capcom, come on, man. Oni Musha.
Dino Crisis, come on, guys.
Dino Crisis, come on, baby.
You, Capcom.
Right,
Capcom, we're begging you, please. Capcom, please, something.
You got to drop some old shit, guys.
My next game on the list is actually Mega Man Legends.
Oh.
It's also known as Mega Man 64.
Yeah.
So it is a Mega Man game that is not a 2D because Mega Man is traditionally known as a 2D side-scroller shooting game. So Mega Man Legend, when it came out on the PSX, was actually like a RPG-ish story-based dungeon crawling game where you found artifacts and used them to make new weapons and stuff like that. They had a number 2, which expanded on it, and it had one of the cutest characters of all time. One of the villains in the game was called Tron Bonne. She was actually more of an anti-hero. She's in multiple fighting games, Marvel vs. Capcom 2 and 3. Mega Man Legends would be awesome to bring back modern day because we've gotten Mega Man games and we haven't gotten a Mega Man game in a long time. Yeah. We got like the last Mega Man game we got was like number 9. It was a 2D touch up on like the old school. We haven't got X. So if we brought it back 3D with what we could do with modern day consoles, I'm talking about the dungeon crawling could be absolutely epic. The weapons you can make by combining things, and then like the cuteness of the characters and stuff like that. Yeah. Bring back all my favorite characters. Bring back Mega Man with the hair. Mega Man with hair. Bring back Roll with the hat, and bring back the monkey that would use to save your game for you.
No.
Bring back Tron Bonne and her brother Teasel.
Make it like a Mega Man Dimension.
Custom weaponry.
Bring back the custom weapons. Bring back the flying ship. Bring back the oceanic planet with just islands.
Just the whole premise of Mega Man, between the video games, the animes, the cartoons, whatever you want to call it, all that, it has always been absolutely insane. Even some like the less good-looking ones have still been good shows, games, and everything. And it's just been Mega Man has just been Mega Man is one of the old series. I think even modern kids and everything will still thoroughly enjoy.
Super fighting robot, Mega Man.
That's it.
Fighting to save the world. That's my boy. She's making her own game. Mega Man Legends 3 got canceled in 2011.
Yeah, it was not felt that Mega Man Legends 3 project met the required criteria.
What?
Because of a lack of audience.
No. Capcom.
Damn you, Capcom.
No. Capcom, put it back out. Capcom, please. Can we get Mega Man? Can you start production on it again? What do I have to do? How much money do I have to pay for Mega Man Legends 3? I want it back with open world. I want it back with a bigger world than ever. I want everything. So I'm just going to move on. I think our chances of getting it back are extremely low. I think that if Capcom did come back with another Mega Man, it would either be the original or it would be X. I don't think they do Mega Man Legends unless interest in one of those games came through first, because they do not do things that will not make money. That's not their policy anymore. So, sayonara, Mega Man Legends. You were a beautiful game.
Nice to know you.
It was nice to know you.
All right.
Everybody press F in the chat.
Everyone press F in the chat.
Press F in the chat. Yes,
Pay your
it's
respects.
Okay, I got one for y'all fellas. Clay Fighters.
Clay Fighters?
That's controversial because that game sucked.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Come on, the broken combos. Come on, dude.
That game was so trash.
That game was so broken and fun.
I'm gonna go Spyro on that shit. How you were doing Spyro, I'm gonna do the Clay Fighter. Clay
Come
Fighter
on,
was not
dude.
as good as Primal Rage.
You couldn't tell me Clay Fighters.
It was not as good as
Clay Fighters.
It was not as good as Primal Rage. It was not as good as Street Fighter. It was not as good as Mortal Kombat. It was not as good as Eternal Champions.
Killer Instinct.
Come on, dude.
It was not as good as
Snowman
Killer
is so-
Instinct.
The Snowman was a badass, dude.
That was the most badass character model they had, but they had like a character that was just made out of goo or something like that.
Yeah.
Man, they had
That
some.
game was fucking fun, bro.
You know that game had a sequel too.
Yeah, couple.
It was like 2.5 and shit. Yeah, they were, but that was I fucked with their naming scheme because they were making fun of Capcom because Capcom put out Street Fighter 2 like 5 times, right? 6 times. So they were making fun of Capcom by having their 2.5. You know what I'm saying?
That was a
Nice.
64 game.
Yep.
Yeah, 63 and a half.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
It was 63.5.
Yeah.
That's funny as hell. They had a good sense of humor.
But that shit came out in 1993, though, man.
Ooh,
made
that's
it?
crazy. I didn't know that.
That
Fucking
game
old, bro.
that game is as old as me.
Crazy ass.
Visual concepts, interplay.
Visual concepts. Yeah, they definitely don't exist
Yeah,
anymore.
I definitely don't.
So I'm sorry, I bashed Clay Fighter. Justin, tell me what you like about Clay Fighter.
It was just the characters, dude. Fucking Snowman. God, that was such a good game, dude, man. But damn, that was just a little short and sweet game, though, man. You must have talked about that shit, though. It was just a Snowman game.
I'll tell you what we could talk about though. We could talk about what happened if they made a new Snow Fighter. Who would you like to see it from? You want ArcSys to make that shit? You want Capcom to make that shit? You want if you do an NRS game? They can probably make a pretty good Snow Fighter
Now, if you said they were ragging on Capcom can't make it.
if they take their
Right.
time.
NRS, man.
If only if they take their time, because NRS has proven that they can make an extremely good game if they sit on it. But if they rush some shit out,
I mean,
then
like, you see how they did Robot Chicken? I'd
Yeah.
rather them do that shit like that.
that'd be dope.
And make it like, give them your finishing moves.
You want fatalities?
Yeah. That could be cool. Fucking.
Different skins.
It'll look like a celebrity death match.
Yeah.
Oh my
That
god.
actually would be kind of clean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be cold. Actually, I changed my position. Bring back Clay Fighter,
Bring back
modern
Clay
day.
Fighter.
I want French Bread to make it. You know who French Bread is?
I never
They made
heard.
Under Night in Birth. It's one of the most brutal combo fighting games you've ever seen in your life. It's not Power Rangers Battle of the Grid level of combos, but it's like that's my baby. It's actually really fucking nasty.
Star Fox.
Oh!
Star Fox is on my list too.
That's that gas. Goddamn, Carl.
What do you know about Star Fox?
What you mean?
93.
Do you
baby?
remember the stuff?
I still own my 64. I mean, I own that game.
64?
Do you remember the Star Fox game on GameCube?
You talking about Star Fox Assault?
Is it the one with the dinosaurs?
Oh, you talking about Star Fox Adventure? What is
Yeah.
this shit called?
I think it is Star Fox Adventure. That's the only one I've ever played. Is that one right there?
I forgot about that game. I think they had 2 of them, if I'm not mistaken.
But I don't think I've played Ace. What was the other game you said?
Pilot Wing 64.
No, I don't believe I played that either. I ain't gonna lie. I stalled out on San Andreas on the flight system. I couldn't do a loop-de-loop to save my life. Swear to God, my game was glitching like a motherfucker. So I hit that loop-de-loop at least 7 goddamn times correctly. That shit was cheating. That's all I'm saying. Besides the point, though. But Star Fox as a game, as a flying fighter, the only other thing I can think of is the Star Wars game that came out a couple years ago. It was probably like 10 years ago, honestly, thinking about it. But the Star Wars franchise is just freaking amazing. And he's playing as the character, whether it's in Star Fox itself or even from Smash, has always been one of my favorite characters to straight up to play as. And just the concept of flying as a squadron to go ahead and take out your enemies is a dope ass thing. Because you got racers, you got fighters, but how many games really combine the two? That's damn near what it is.
Yeah.
And whether it's you doing barrel rolls while you're firing,
Do a barrel roll.
right, is absolutely crazy to me because the game is highly, highly entertaining.
Yeah.
Very
You
fun,
must
very
go run
dynamic.
through stages and shit.
Right. And it's not like it's the hardest game in the world because it was definitely a Nintendo game and Nintendo doesn't exactly make like the hardest things out there, but it was enough to put up a challenge for you.
That game could be hard if you wanted it to. There was alternate routes and secret stuff.
Yes, there was a lot of stuff to do in the games, but it was like just a straight up playthrough. It's a good. Yeah, I just want to go ahead and hit this real quick. So for me, that right there was one of those games that was like, yeah, I would like to see another one of these.
That's good shit, Carl.
Okay. So, dude, I got stuff to say about Star Fox. This is also on my list. Star Fox was before its time. You know why? Because it wasn't just one of those games like Panzer Dragoon, where it's just on a track and you're just shooting stuff. Sometimes, every now and then, Star Fox would say, "Let's go all range mode," and it would turn into a thing where you could fly anywhere you wanted to within the box or whatever.
Mhm.
All range mode was almost like open world. You could fly where you wanted to, and I don't really have much to say besides that. Besides the multiplayer was dope. I really love shooting each other down. You could even get tanks in that mode.
I said it earlier. I still remember the GameCube version of the game where you could actually get out of the ship. And like you had like the little staff, and you had to save the dinosaur girl. You were like on the dinosaur planet, but they had like civilization. And Star Fox came, and it was like an action RPG, but it was also like Star Fox though, so it had like ship elements in it too. Man, what? That's the only Star Fox game I've ever played. But
you talking about Adventure?
Yeah, Star Fox Adventure. That shit was dope, super dope.
So let's say we got a modern day Star Fox. Like, what would you even do?
Open world multiplayer shooter.
Custom
Custom planes.
You're so fast.
Custom planes. Give me custom planes. Like, just think about that shit.
I mean, didn't each one kind of have somewhat of their own custom plane?
Man, they all
of the characters that you
drove
had
the same shit.
It's all basically the same.
I don't remember Assault, but I think they all
Give me a custom character. I want me a fucking.
You want to build your own?
Yeah.
That would be dope.
I want to play as Wolf.
Yeah,
Make your own Wolf.
Ditto.
That's pretty simple. What we want from out of Star Fox, man.
Give me a custom character. I have a roasted head.
I mean,
custom
of course, we all know Nintendo will never make a cross-platform game, but it would be nice.
A Galaxy would be cool.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
And then
4 dogfights.
Yeah, dogfights.
I would also keep some of the getting out of your ship and running around and like interacting on little parts.
Honestly,
you in a room
make it a base
pilot
building.
missions.
That would actually be really dope. Make it a base building. So have it said not as in modern times. It wouldn't be the Star Fox that we know. It would be like more so like their descendants. And I don't remember what the program was that they were in has actually fallen, and you are actually trying to restart the program. So you have to build the base up from scratch. So it'll give you the aspect that you want. So you have to kind of patch together planes in order to use it. So that gives you the customizable option that you want. We have the new characters.
So whoa! I gotta stop you for a second. So they were based in this thing called the Great Fox. You talking about is the Great Fox fucked up? Because
yes,
I don't know how I feel about that shit, bro.
Yes. So you would have to recruit your engineer to help start building up, and as you go, you can rescue pilots. You would literally be building it up. So about midway through the game, you would actually have your ship back up and building, so you can actually, or quarter of the way through the game, so you can actually start roaming more, like the XCOM aspect that we were talking about. Still gives you the customizable option that you were talking about, and be able to create you a fresh character. And you would actually do it like an AI, almost like what the hell is this dude's name? Power Rangers, Zordon. But Fox would be your Zordon trying to help you get everything built back up. It'd be a dope ass concept for a more modern version of that game.
Mine is
your number 2.
Getaway.
What?
I didn't play it.
Getaway. It's like Grand Theft Auto, but in London.
What?
Thanks. Oh, it's called The Getaway. Like Grand Theft Auto, but in London. You like running around being a Cheerio chop, and like stealing cars. Look, it is a great fucking game. Absolutely, it's like an early PS2 game.
Wait,
that's like
I've heard of it before, but I
PS2.
never played of it. I
Never
definitely
heard of it.
heard of it.
came out in 02.
Oh, too.
It was like I said, all it was Grand Theft Auto, but in England. And you like, you know what I'm saying? You like got different missions around the map, all running through London, and you kind of running this crime organization, I guess you could say. You know what I'm saying? And like, oh man, I think
It
they
looks
made a
familiar.
sequel,
I think I've seen
but
it.
I don't think they'll ever come back and make a third one. I think they made a Getaway 2. But I don't know if they'll ever make a Getaway. I don't even know if
They
who
did.
made that game.
Team Soho.
Team Soho?
Definitely Japan.
They
I've
did
never
make
heard
a
of
Getaway 2. It's called Black Monday.
Yeah.
18 and up.
What is it about this game that made you put it on your list, bro?
I think it was just being in London and like stealing cars from London British people. Hello there, governor. I'm gonna shoot you. Like I think that's what made me love the game so much. It's just like shooting British people and stealing cars. Honestly, just a larger open world, like more of London. I would want better guns, more cars to steal. Just everything that they were already doing, but just more. Give me more. I had that game in Midnight Club around the same time. They used to play those two games interchangeably. That was my racing game era. Well, that wasn't really a racing game. It was really more of a mass murder game. But whatever, you get the point.
It doesn't sound like it. The Getaway sounds like I would almost compare it to like Driver,
A little, yeah. Like
except minus the loading times.
yeah.
Gundam Battle Assault 2.
Oh my.
It was a PlayStation 1 game. There's Gundam Battle Assault 1 and 2. So basically, they were 2D fighters made by Bandai. They were not good, but me and my homie at the time were really into Gundam because at the same time we had this game, my homie had this game, I did not have it, but at the same time we had this game, we were watching G Gundam on TV on Toonami every day after school. So we would watch G Gundam and we played Gundam Battle Assault 2, which had G Gundam characters in it. It had the Butterfly Gundam, the Dragon Gundam, whatever that the kid had. It had the Rose Gundam, the Maxim Gundam, that box and shit like that from Jiminy Crockett. It had the Burning Gundam, of course. In addition to that, it had Gundams from the original Mobile Suit Gundam and Gundam Wing in it. So you could play as Death Scythe Hell custom. You could play as Wing Zero. But it was a shitty 2D fighter. If you could bring it back modern day, Gundam as a 2D fighter, do you understand how fucking fire that would be? I want ArcSys to make it. Nobody else. And I want every Gundam in the game.
Hella specific with it though.
There was a game on PlayStation Plus recently called Gundam Maximum Overdrive Boost, and it had like every Gundam in the history of Gundam on this roster. I want it to have that kind of roster. I want Gundam Battle Assault 2 back with modern day fighting mechanics. I want the Gundams to have like a little boost meter and be able to fly around the screen in 2D. On some Zamasu shit from Dragon Ball FighterZ. I want them to all have their different power-ups and weapons and stuff like that. I want it to have a good combo system. Maybe be able to combo in the air like Marvel vs. Capcom 3. I want it to be like Z Fighters, maybe like Marvel vs. Capcom 3. But one-on-ones. I don't know if I need it to be a team game. Yeah. I want it to be it doesn't need to be a high damage game. It can be a game where we fight each other for a while. Do you think a Gundam game should be high damage? Should the matches be quicker or slower in a Gundam game? What do you think?
Medium.
Gundam fights be kind of fast, dude.
I mean,
I think it should be a high damage game.
Doesn't take long in the game.
Combo hits. You can pull off goddamn 70 hit combos.
Can I get that kind of like 3D and a 2D plane, where it's like the character models and the background is 3D, but it's still a 2D plane? And I kind of wanted to play kind of, I don't know.
What's your likelihood?
My likelihood? I'm going to put it at 15%. Because the Gundam's extremely popular, but you just need a studio to pick up something like that. It's possible. But so here's why it's only at 15%. There is an arcade game called Gundam Overdrive or something like that, and it's like the most popular arcade game in Japan. As long as this game is popular, you're never going to see another Gundam game ever again in your life.
My number one, fellas, Final Fantasy VIII remake.
Yes.
The Final Fantasy VIII remake?
Yes. Give it the same story. Just make sure Squall keep the same attitude throughout the story and how he changes. But change his fucking short ass jacket. That's all I ask. Change the jacket. Just make it a little bit longer.
Was his jacket short in the Kingdom Hearts as well?
Yeah, it was kind of.
Do you remember?
It was kind of short.
He was a better character in Kingdom Hearts. He was more of a human being. He seemed like an autistic person. And if you ever played Final Fantasy VIII, Squall strikes me with all the characteristics of an autistic person: antisocial, solely focused on his objective, and only cares about one thing. Plus his ability to learn quickly.
He was so fucking.
So I feel like y'all are gonna judge me.
I don't think he was that cool.
I thought he was so fucking cool.
I thought he was kind of lame. I thought
he
Squall was
was
a
a
lame
badass.
dude.
He had a fucking revolver.
He had a stick up his ass.
He had a revolver with a fucking giant blade on the end.
So did Cypher.
But his on suck though. He was
Like-
an asshole.
Cypher
blade gun on
won the
steroids?
first fight.
Yeah, it was a gunblade.
It's gunblade.
So I just want this to be
You can't
said
tell me
now.
that the Lionheart wasn't awesome.
And
I
I'll say,
love everything about Squall except for his personality. He's so
Yes.
I want to go ahead and confess to this.
he's
now,
got a
guys.
bigger stick up his ass than Cloud had at the beginning of Final Fantasy VII.
And please don't judge me. I've never played Final Fantasy before. Any of them.
I don't judge you, Carl, but
Ever.
have you ever played any turn-based game? Have you ever played a turn-based RPG before?
All the time when I was
You
younger.
never played Final Fantasy.
I swear to God, I've never
We
played.
have PlayStation. Both of them is up there. Just try to play at least like the first disc.
What would you guys suggest as Carl's first Final Fantasy? What do you think?
7.
7,
7? I would probably
13.
say 7 or
8.
yeah, I would say 8 after 7.
Carl is into that shit, so I know what he'll do after he figure out the mechanics, how to like put the magic and shit on weapons.
Carl, I would say your first Final Fantasy should be Final Fantasy X. I think it should be entertaining enough of a story to draw you in either way.
Because Lord knows it's going to.
If you play anything before that, you have to do a lot of reading.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's- You all know I don't have a problem with.
Final Fantasy,
I'm gonna say we went way off something right
Final
there.
Fantasy 8 was that shit. Ain't nobody tell me different. But the simple fact is, the Odin. Come on. Then you get to a certain point in Disc 3 when you fighting, what's his name? Cypher?
Cypher, yeah.
Cypher?
Yep.
And like, he comes out and Cypher just cuts his ass up anyway, just kills him.
Yeah, that was fucked up.
Then his brother just comes out and he just drops. Come on, you can't tell me that was like the dopest opening you ever seen in a video game. The fucker just drops down with a circle of blades. And it was randomized which swords he used. That shit was fucking awesome.
I'm sorry for hating on Final Fantasy VIII because I just looked up the cover and so many nostalgic memories come back. Remember the opening sequence when they were fighting in the beginning with like the ocean water and stuff? That was really cool.
Yeah, and he puts the scar on Squall's face.
Yeah.
At the end of the game, doesn't Squall end up like all alone, like floating in some little place by himself?
There's lots of theories about what happened at the end of the game. Some people say that he had died in Disc 1 and all this whole thing was a fever dream. I don't know if it's true or not, but Final Fantasy VIII was a weird game. I enjoyed it myself. So, okay. Well, shit, it came out in 99. How do you feel about that? Are you an old man?
I'm an old fucking man, bro.
I got that shit from Hollywood Video. No, I didn't get it from Hollywood Video. I actually had the actual game.
My big brother was a big fan of it at the time, so when he bought his, he bought me one also. So I won't fuck up his disc. So
That shit had 4 discs. It was a 3 or
we
4
were
discs.
playing that, and
Four?
the game I'm about to say is my number 1 at the same time. That 7 and the game that's my number 1. We were playing it all relatively
at the same
in
time.
the same, general time. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Like, man, yeah, but give me like the character design was cool, the costumes and shit, the cutscene videos, wonderful,
Yeah, agreed.
great.
The fight over the garden
yes,
Yeah.
versus the
That-
Galbadia
that
army.
part alone
Yeah.
was
Yeah, agreed. Shit, summon sequences.
just don't give me back when you go back in time. You have to play with the other group.
Laguna?
Yeah, I didn't like Laguna.
I like that part of the game.
I thought he was just big headed for some reason.
He was
He was
definitely talked a bunch of shit, but his homies were so sarcastic that it was funny. His Laguna would be larger than life, but his Ward and they use these character names in every Final Fantasy. It's Ward and who else? Ward and somebody. His two homeboys.
Biggs.
Ward and Biggs. You're a Final Fantasy player, bruh.
And also Sid.
Yeah, Sid was in the game. He was the garden. He was the leader of the garden. He was the old man.
Yeah. Final Fantasy battle system. Just give me Final Fantasy remake of Final Fantasy 7 battle system. Think about that shit. You can have Squall shooting side of the screen. You can be playing with Zell or somebody.
A selfie. Quistis is my girl.
Quistis was like
she's a blue mage.
Yeah, she was like my second favorite character. Like she was like the next to the strongest next to Squall. Like that was my favorite, and I played with Ivan. You gotta love Ivan the cowboy.
Oh
yeah, Irvine.
He was so fucking cool.
You had to find if you had his ammo,
Irvine?
yeah. If you had his ammo, yeah.
And his limit break. He got them just take the shotgun. He just move around and
But
shoot that shit.
man, you know I like Irvin, but I don't like that they made him choke when it came to shoot the sorceress. He's just sort of like, bro, I can't do it.
And, he was so
and you
good.
had to like pep talk him, and then Squall doesn't even like people, so you had to like force him to pep talk him. He's just sort of like, man, do I really have to do this, bruh? You can do it. Take your shot. If you miss, you miss. If whatever happens, happens. I'm gonna go down there and fight her anyway. And Irvin was just like, fuck it, I'm gonna do it. He takes his shot, he shoots it. Bitch has a force field. He's like, I tried. And then Squall's like, don't even worry about it. You did a good job. We go down there and sword fight this bitch. You know what happened to Squall? Full of icicles.
Yeah.
He beat his rival. He got shot, and they say that's where he died at because they were pierced through his lungs. He wakes up in the jail. And you have to fight through the jail. Zell has to do most of the work because he doesn't need weapons to fight. You get out, and you're in the desert. It's a good game, but they say that Squall died there, and the rest of the game is like a fever dream. I don't believe that's true, but it's an interesting theory.
The G of Diablo. You know, the
Diablo.
magic lamp. The magic lamp. You run the magic lamp in your item thing, and you fight a G up.
You get that from Sid.
Yeah.
Sid gives you, before you leave the garden for the first time, he's like, here's the lamp. Don't use this, and be careful about using this. You use it your first time frivolously because it's your first time playing the game, and you fight a mini boss that looks like Satan.
But he is so fucking strong. Like,
Yeah, he fucks you up.
You get him before like you finish this one, like early this one, you straight.
You can beat him.
Summon.
You can actually it's not your first summon. Your first summon is actually Ifrit.
Yep.
Quistis takes you to a cave in the beginning of the game,
Hunting,
and she's just sort of like,
your CD is now.
here's a GF for you, and here's a GF for me, so that we can get through this stitch safely. She gives you Quizzicolt and Shiva. These are your first two summons. You equip one to Squall, and you equip one to Quistis. You go through the cave, and you fight Ifrit under a time limit. You beat Ifrit before the time limit's over, and that's your third summon. I played Final Fantasy. I'm bashing it. I'm talking shit about Final Fantasy VIII, but I played that shit more than any other Final Fantasy.
One, on your first mission, you got to go to the satellite. You fight that monster on the nest.
The wind monster on the satellite, yeah.
It'd be a bunch of question marks. That's how you know.
You can miss him.
Yep.
You can miss him if you don't draw him.
Isn't that the one with your Jimbo? Isn't that the one where it had like your Jimbo?
Yojimbo's Final Fantasy X. Here's the first game where he was in. You had to pay his ass.
Yep.
I hated him. Who else?
I liked him. You could only pay him 100 gil, and he still fuck people up.
Who else was? Wasn't it like the Phoenix or something in there? Or
Final
like
Fantasy
Odin?
7.
I think it was Odin.
Odin wasn't 8, but you had to do. Odin might have been the one you got from the tower, ain't it?
Yeah.
I might be wrong about
Alexander
He would
was
only
like
show
my
up
favorite.
sometimes.
Alexander was a shit because he used holy
that. Satellite cannon.
Yeah, but
He would attack you. He would attack you from like a mile away.
Because you fight this is like this island you go to in the middle of the fucking ocean after you get a fucking spaceship. Actually,
Ragnarok.
Yeah, Ragnarok, fucking spaceship. It's hard. That part is hard to get because you got to fight all the elements and kill them.
You have to fight them in a certain order so that they don't destroy you.
Yeah. One of them get like you beat one, the other one get weaker. You don't fight the right one in the right order. Motherfuckers stronger so you can't beat them.
These games sound so complicated. I just want to say this.
It's not that bad. It's not as bad as you think it is.
I know. I also realized y'all would switch between like two different games.
So
This conversation.
This is still Final Fantasy VIII.
Oh my god.
It was so much shit you could do because like you have a list and each GF you get Guardian summons or Guardian forces.
They essentially.
Yeah, and with these GF they give you certain they give you like attack boosts. Like you get junctions.
Mm-hmm.
And with them junctions you open up you get you can level because your GFs level up as you go too. So if you're using, you get AP for them. So after you get to a certain point, you unlock all this shit. You can start putting magic on your weapons and shit.
Now, my actual number one though would be Street.
NBA Street.
Yes.
Oh my god!
I've never been big into sports, but the Street franchise was always absolutely insane. Street, definitely my choice.
NBA Street.
3-on-3 basketball.
Man, the combos you would pull off in that game for your ankle breaks, your specials, and everything was absolutely, positively insane. Especially for that type of game. It was crazy.
Yeah, the ankle breakers, the dunks. You get all the different type of dunks. You get more points. I fucking love that game.
Shoe customization. I don't know if you can remember, but like the shoes, like you can customize the shoes. Like I skipped school to play that game, bro. Like plenty of days. Like I remember one time I skipped like a whole school just to play NBA Street. 24/7, man. That game, like just running 3-on-3s with my twin brother, like constant, all day long.
Volume 1 and Volume 2 were both dope as hell.
Volume 2.
Did you know there's a volume 3?
Volume
What?
3, yeah.
Yep.
I see it on Amazon.
And Volume 3, I bought that shit when it first came out.
That's just $74 on
Oh,
Amazon. This came out on the GameCube.
Oh yeah, I do remember this.
How's that? How come that shit is modern day game prices? More expensive than a modern day game. We're talking
the rarity.
$70.
When I say that game was like, it's basically what 2K is now.
Right.
What?
That shit was fucking like I said, shoe customization. Like all the shoes that was out at that time in the 2000s, Air Force Ones, Sriracha's, all that shit. You was customizing your colors. Like you could, like you had jerseys. Like you can dress like it was so much. They put so much time and effort into the clothes and the shoes in that game that you spend more time in the stores and shit. Like that's what you're playing for. Like buy more shit for your character. When you play basketball and that shit, then like that game was fucking fun. Bro.
You could even get certain legends from the game. You get certain legends that are like street ball legends that are in the game, made for the game characters. And I remember you could also get people like young Michael Jordan and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like real NBA legends. So if they brought it back now, it would be cool if they like let you pick like fucking prime LeBron and like fucking Kobe Bryant. You know what I'm saying? You can get all kinds of play people. That'd be fire. That would be fire. What do you think the chances you'll get it back?
I highly doubt we're gonna get it. It's been so long that if they were, come on, let's keep it real. Even if it was come out for like the 4 or the 5, any of the newer consoles, it'd be absolutely insane.
Yeah,
they would definitely try to push that more of an online game though.
Yeah,
that's it.
They already got that with 2K, so it'll be no fun.
Right.
EA gonna try to get the money in the direction they can get it from.
If we're being honest, a lot of our favorite features in older games have been kind of absorbed into modern games.
True.
So it's like even even if it was just like straight up doing the story, it's all I need for Street. Like even I would take a freaking a remake easily. I just a slightly updated version on the graphics and everything for the newer consoles. Gladly play that. You could release it as a trilogy like they did. Yeah. I would even if they did an update like they did with Crash Bandicoot a couple years ago. And ladies and gentlemen, this is why we are known as straight off the topic. We always go completely off the topic every single time. But it's also what makes us quite hilarious.
Like, share, and subscribe. Thank you. Hey.